This is a BabyJogger City Mini 4W or 4-wheel, and today we're going to show you how to remove the locking mechanism that locks the front wheel into the front frame. This might be necessary if you need to swap out any defective parts or if you need to lubricate the mechanism. So on this one it's a bit tight. You can see that if I depress the button in order to pull out the wheel, it doesn't pop directly back into place, which means that the wheel now sits loose into the front frame. I have to actually physically push it in order to get it to lock. You might have the converse problem that you cannot remove the wheel, and this would again be the same locking pin and button setup here, which would be the cause. So in order to remove the locking mechanism for this front wheel, we're going to turn the stroller on its side, and there is a small metal pin that runs through a channel here in the front, and we're going to need to knock that out. So you'll need something thin, be it a nail, preferably with a flatter head, or in this case I'm using the end bit of a rivet. So just anything that will fit through that channel but force that pin out. If this metal pin is very rusted, it can be a bit difficult to knock out. Now I'm just gonna get it started. There we go. And then you can pull this out. If you notice it's very rusted, you might want to sand it a bit and oil it before putting it back in. It needs to sit tightly in there, but it's of course nice to be able to remove parts. Okay, doing that allows you then to pull out this button, and this is a very simple mechanism. You have a spring here which can pop out of alignment and could be a part of the problem, and you have this upper bit which locks directly into the channel that's carved into the axle. And on the top of that plastic piece is a metal plate, which is nice because it helps it to the stroller to last longer. That metal plate actually has to wear down before the locking pin will entirely cease to function. So in my case, where it's hard to push my button, I think it's going to be enough just to properly lubricate this, but you do want to look for signs of wear or deformity in the plastic. You also could of course have problems with deformity in the plastic channels here. We'll have another video in which we show how to remove or disassemble the rest of the mechanism so that you can examine it for wear and so on. So I'm going to use a thicker grease. This is a food industry grease. You could also use a silicone putty. You could also just use WD-40 or a silicone spray. But in this case, with a moving part like this, I like to apply a thicker grease as it will last longer and won't just wash out as easily. I'm going to spray a little bit of spray grease as well to help with the viscosity. And we're going to put it back into place. You want to make sure that the spring is positioned correctly. It needs to fit inside a well on the inside of the button, as well as fitting tightly into the bottom area here. And then this hole will then of course line up with that channel. And we're going to replace this pin. It's been a bit greased and oiled as well. Okay, work the mechanism a bit. And now it should work better. I'm going to slide it into place, and you'll notice that it now locks tightly. So that's how you take apart the locking button, locking mechanism on the front frame of a BabyJogger City Mini 4W. This is actually the same on the BabyJogger City Select and a few other models. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has been, we ask you to subscribe as it helps us to continue making videos in the future. Thank you.